So, unfortunately, we have lost our VW campervan, and I'm going to explain to you what's happened now. First of all, welcome back to the channel. Sorry, on behalf of myself and Janine, we've not put out a video for the last couple of weeks. It's been the longest time that we've not put out a video for a long time, if not ever. And it's because we just needed the headspace to try and process a major change that's happened in our lives following some devastating news. And so basically, if you've been following the story of what's going on with us in the last sort of few months, you'll know that we've basically, after a lot of things happening, we've gone from our old van to looking for a new camper van. Because we've been doing van life for over 3.5 years, we know exactly what we wanted, or we thought we knew what we wanted, and had quite a few boxes to tick, quite a list of requirements. But when we found the VW Club Joker campervan, which was built by Westfalia being a very respected German brand with German engineering, who had basically built a beautiful campervan. The Club Joker is a beautiful campervan that's been pretty much the same design for the decades, from what we understand, except they built this one on a VW T6.1 engine. So not only were we excited about having a luxurious German engineered van for the first time ever in our lives, we were also very excited about having a VW T6.1 as well. Both of them respected and both of them beautiful. And so we went and bought it. And the first thing we did was did a van tour video so that we could share with you the reason why we bought it, because there's so many, mainly the bed and the VW T6 engine and the VW T6 chassis, and them being able to fit a shower and a toilet into such a compact area. It's a very beautiful thing. We then did our first 2 to 3 days in that van, also showing how we've adapted to living in it in those first 2 or 3 days, and we started to understand the things that we were going to need to modify it. It didn't need many modifications because it was an off-grid van, beautifully built and almost new as well, hardly any miles on it. But the upgrades that we started investing in it, we'd already bought a tracker that we needed for it now for insurance and stuff, and we'd bought bedding and a kettle and CCTV cameras and car mats and all that sort of stuff. It was clocking up. But you know, when you get a new van and you're excited about those modifications, that's the stage where we're at. And then without going into any detail about it whatsoever, we got a phone call that sort of changed the course of everything. And it was such tragic news that we got, that ultimately meant that we had to give up the van. I spent a number of days trying to think of a solution out of it. We've also got some very good friends around us who are van lifers, and they couldn't think of a solution. We regrettably had to give up the van, and it was a bit of a smack in the face, because not only were we invested in the van itself, in more ways than one, time, money, but our dreams about what was going to happen next was also, we were also invested in. You know, we were on the verge, really close to going off and having a big adventure. As you know, we were ultimately going to Canada and America in it, but we were going to do a bit of a shakedown trip first, and we were literally days off doing that. And then this happened. Our lives got flipped upside down, and that's pretty much it. I can't really go into much detail about it, except that we did everything we could to try and keep that van. It's weird. It's like, is it that I think deeply about these things, and is it the universe doesn't want us to do van life because we've had so many flipping setbacks since doing van life? Or is it the universe doesn't want us to have an expensive, luxurious van? Who knows? You know, it wasn't we didn't have an accident in the van, or no one crashed into her. Nothing happened to the van itself. It was just other situations out of our control. But, you know, as I said to you before, we've had so many setbacks since doing van life that you end up becoming quite stoic with it all, meaning that there's no point dwelling on negativity or sadness or anything like that, because actual fact, what we've learned is it just gets in the way of what's going to happen next. And whatever's going to happen next, I don't know. That's the next thing that we're going to have to move on to. One thing I would say is that I'm sat here with a cup of tea in my hand. I've got clothes on my back, food in my belly, and thanks to a load of kind friends and family, we've had a roof over our heads as well, on spare beds, floors, couches, that sort of thing. So we're grateful for that, and there's people on the planet much worse off than what we are. Doesn't make it any less frustrating, but we just don't want to get in the way of it this time. Whatever is meant to be happening for us next will happen, and we just you know, this is something that we couldn't change. So on that note, we will see you next time, where I'm hoping we'll have a plan of action for you, and it will be the next chapter, whatever that is. Thank you for your support again, and gutted. I know a lot of you, based on comments, were really looking forward to seeing us going off, and for once having a pretty smooth van life chapter of our lives, which I don't think's happened yet, apart from when we first started doing van life. But who knows? And, you know, we're going to carry on being stoic and practical and pragmatic and move forwards, because we're no strangers to setbacks. And thankfully, we've got a lot of stoic people around us as well. And I'll leave you with this, that when I contacted one of our friends, Nick, a good friend of ours who we met on the road, and when I told him about it, he simply said, this is the life you have chosen, and you are going against the grain. So we'll see you next time as we pursue the adventure of finding the utmost freedom. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.